Hello, good people of YouTube. We are doing a chaos draft with viewers. And in this one, people got to pick the sets that they wanted to play. So we've got a very specific group of sets. What we're drafting is, let me scroll back up here and get the list. M21, M19, Dominaria, Ikoria, Ravnica, Allegiance, Zendikar, War of the Spork, and Theros Beyond Death. So out of this pack, I think I could see a pretty compelling argument for Skycleave Apparition, Fearless Fledgling, and Roiling Eruption. Even a notable nod to Blackbloom Rogue. And the way this is going, we might see more packs of Zendikar than you would normally expect. I think if I take this Royal Eruption, I'd have to stay out of white. But I found removal is hard to come by in Chaos Draft, specifically good removal. Yeah, I think I'm talking myself into Royal Eruption. I think that's exactly what I'd like. And I think I might be able to put two neighbors in white. Now, ideally, I'm not just still feeding them great white cards. And see, here we're seeing again another Zendikar pack, which doesn't super surprise me. Because I would expect that we would see a decent number of Zendikar packs here. That said, there isn't really anything good here. There's a 2-mana 3/2, which is fine. There's also the Infiltrator, which we might be able to find enough rogues to be able to sneak it in, and that's a card advantage machine potentially. So normally I wouldn't try to go in on a synergy that's built into a specific set for a Chaos Draft. But because we've only got 8 packs selected and we're going to open 32, we're going to see multiple packs of Zendikar. And I think the Infiltrator, like if this was just a 2-mana 2/3 that drew a card when it hit somebody, you'd just play it. So I think this is actually pretty reasonable for us. Those of you watching on YouTube, please do consider subscribing to the channel if you like the content, and checking out the Twitch stream sometime. You can do that at twitch.tv/Semulin. All right, we've got us an Ikoria pack with Boon of the Wishgiver. It does cost 4 mana. So what I was saying is if this cost 3, but didn't have the ability to tap a rogue and force it through, you'd just play it in most draft environments and be happy with it. So we're adding a mana here with the idea that maybe we can find some rogues and do something with it. I think I like Boon of the Wishgiver. It's card advantage late game, and I can cycle it early if I have to. But I think we're probably in blue, and maybe blue-red. Sorry, Arena is driving me bananas with all of these sound effects. Valduk is not asking a whole lot to get going. Memorial to Genius is pretty good. Divination is pretty good. But I've already got 2 things that are drawing cards. There's also a Call the Cavalry, which is really good, but I again would kind of like to stay out of white. I also feel like Fire Elemental is pretty playable. But Valduk is just saying, like, put an equipment in your deck, and if you don't, no big deal. The other option, I suppose, would be to take the Divination because we're not necessarily committed to red, and I don't really want to commit to red for a 3/2. I also feel like Memorial to Genius is probably better than Divination unless we get some spell nonsense going, but spells is a deck in this format. Oh god, this is tough, but I'm going to take the Memorial. Alright, there's a Tazim Royal Mage. We're blue. I was going to be happy with a fish or wizard. But this is pretty nice. This is pretty nice. It's a 2-drop if I need it. It's a 6-drop that gets me a spell back if I need it. And like I said, we're seeing more Zendikar packs. This is not surprising. Because it's all just random what you're going to get past next. So in this sort of environment, it's kind of okay to go in for a little bit of synergy. It's not going to be as strong as you would anticipate, but it should still get the job done. Royal Eruption is also pretty easily splashable, and there's several sets in this that have dual lands for us, potentially. Like this one. Although I don't think there's really anything that we would be too excited about here. We could take the Simic Guildgate in case we do end up in blue-green, and there's some argument to be doing that. Thought Collapse isn't the worst either. Cancel is always a little playable. And we could potentially consider Goblin Gathering. There may be enough packs of this that we could get it going, and it is a spell if I get a spell payoff. I think I'm actually willing to do this. I think I'm going to try to do a blue-red spells synergy adjacent deck. If there's enough packs of this opened, I could get a few of these. Okay, Burning Prophet is not exactly what we want to be triggering off of our spells, but it's acceptable. And that scry can begin to add up. So like if I can get another card like this, more do-nothing spells like Goblin Gathering are things that we would be interested in. It also allows me to cut red. I'm thinking we'll get past red and blue in the next pack. Because we are kind of hooking people up with white cards. Turret Ogre's solid. Arcanist would be nice. I don't think I want Frantic Inventory. Although, again, it's a do-nothing spell that we might could find enough copies of, but I don't really have a huge payoff for that yet. I think I actually like the Arcanist a little more here, because I've already got two expensive spells to play. I don't think I'd be super interested in Stealth Mission. If there was nothing else there, we might. Cascade Seer is okay. Underwhelming, but okay. We could play it. And again, the Goblin Gathering is not a guaranteed include. Glacial Grasp we're doing. That seems pretty good for this. And was previewed by an incredibly handsome Magic streamer. What's also a rogue? We've only got the one rogue so far, so we'd like more if we can get them. Okay, there's another reason to be playing spells. So with the Wolverine coming back, we can start to do something. Yes, the Infiltrator is a rogue, sure. But we don't have anything that cares about that other than the Infiltrator, right? Again, I think Fire Elemental's probably playable. But I could see Befuddle doing something in this deck. But I get what you're saying. A few extra classes for this would certainly be welcome. But I think we're mostly doing wizard things. I don't think there's a world where we play that, but I suppose it could happen. This has been interesting because it was really heavy on the Zendikar synergies and pretty low on everything else. But I do feel like we've got a solid footing in blue-red and plenty of playables. There's obviously things to upgrade, but like I don't really think I want 3-mana dragon fodder. How much does Teferi's tutelage change my plan? Because I sure would like that Spellgorger weird. But that tutelage, though, looks pretty frickin' good. I think I am very willing to go in for this. And it's pretty reasonable that we could pull it off. I've already got a decent amount of card draw. So sorry, Spellgorger Weird, there is a new plan in town, and it is Teferi's tutelage. I loved this core set. It was a lot of fun. And if we played our cards right, so to speak, we will be getting past good red-blue stuff this pack. Oh god, a Theros pack. I don't know what any of these cards do. Alright. Let's figure it out. That's a 2-mana 2/2 that I can pump. Seems good. Destroy an artifact or give it haste. Seems bad. Power is equal to my devotion to blue. Creatures and enchantments have ward 1. Counter target creature or artifact. Exile it. Turn something into a 0/2. A 0/1. When you cast extra spells, do the thing. Or a 7/3. I mean, I suppose having artifact access to artifact removal seems good. This is at least a 1/3. The problem is I'm not convinced that we're going to have that many permanents. Yeah, I guess it's a 2/3 by itself. Yeah, let's give this a go. I suspect it's better than Goblin Gathering. And most of our permanents are blue currently. Airlos seems pretty good for what we're doing too. Like, really good. Okay. Let's get you on board. Yeah, the spider looks great. And it's probably going to kill me. Fixture is a less good weird, but you have to be casting stuff on your opponent's turn, and I don't have a lot we can cast on our opponent's turn. Right? We've got a counterspell, Glacial Grasp, and Befuddle is basically it. I also think that Rage Hound is pretty good. But if we're looking to kind of build a pillow fort and Teferi's tutelage people to death, Alarios seems pretty good for that. Callous Dismissal is just always good. The red is not particularly flowing, but the blue's good enough to make up for it. Because this is a spell and a 1-drop, and it does all the things. But I don't think we're going to have to really play any bad cards. Red is getting hacked a little bit. We could shift into another color if there was a solid reason. Currently, the Royal Eruption is the best card we have access to. So I think I'd rather have it. I think I'd probably play Anticipate, but the Dark Dweller Oracle is fine. It's kind of a little better than fine. If we end up getting another 2 or 3 Goblin Gatherings and deciding we want to do that, we could. But like, it's a serviceable 2-drop. I just don't see a reason to be shifting into another color. We're deep enough in blue that if we saw something incredibly powerful, incredibly late, we could swap. But like, the Burning Prophet can help us scry through the deck. The Wolverine gives us something that we can play early that will eventually turn into a bit more of a threat. Do I want the Avon Eternal or the second Callous Dismissal? I mean, the answer is yes. Avon Eternal has to be absurd. Even though Callous Dismissal ver good. Oh. Well, the theme was to try to find a payoff for spells, and we haven't. We've got like some incremental advantage as we play spells. This is just a 3-mana 3/3 that's better at attacking. Like, I'm going to be pretty happy with that. I really don't like Mirror Image. We could take the Boneyard as a possibility for a splash of black if we see something we like. I think there's a possibility this deck would play a Goblin Instigator. It's interesting with the Dark Dweller Oracle. I think there's a possibility we'd play a Tolarian Scholar. But we've already got 17 playables. And I could bring this in if I have to. So I think I'm on the Boneyard and see if we see a good black card we want to splash. Because we don't need that much red. Alright. Enchantment enters the battlefield. Mill somebody, no thanks. It's hexproof. Thanks. 3/5. I mean, I've seen worse cards than a 5-mana 3/5. We're even running a couple of enchantments. Like, this is an enchantment creature. And the Teferi's Tutelage is an enchantment. I'm not excited about this, but it could block something. Hobble Friend I always liked. That gets our 2-drop slot sorted, because I feel like 4 2-drops is enough. And there's still another pack left. This is access to artifact removal in the sideboard, eh? So, sure. Come on in. Weird to be kind of splashing red for early game, but I'm hopeful that we'll see another red removal spell at some point. Like, there's a red burn spell in every set. Ikoria's in this. I don't think I actually want any of this, but I guess for signaling purposes, we can gobble that up. Yeah, none of this is stuff I'm interested in, so I guess I'll just, as lightly as I can, even though it's a bit too late, let people know I am not playing Abzan. I do think we're fighting with somebody for red, but it looks good enough. I don't think we would want a Catalyst Elemental, but sure. And we're still, like, actively ready to take a good black card and splash it. That's a good position to be in. There's a possibility we'd want a Stealth Mission in the size board. I'm down with that. I don't like main decking Stealth Mission. I didn't even like it in its own format. So Gadrak would be okay at blocking early, which is something we're interested in. I also think I'd unironically play Opt. There's a lot of other shots to get Opt, and this is just a huge wall. Our creatures are good now. I probably don't need to play this Shoal Kraken. If that Tormenting Voice or the Opt wheels, I think we would be pretty happy to play those. Another War of the Spork pack. And we've got 2 cards I'm particularly interested in. I think we've gone too far away from Invade the City. Too far away from spells to really want to invade the city. We could take Thunderdrake, which could be very good for us. We could also consider Callous Dismissal number 2, which I think I'd be pretty happy with. There's some argument to take Bond of Passion. It's not bad. But I think loading up on these is something I'm pretty happy with. I think I'm probably out of Kraken. Because right now all I want is like one more burn spell and one divination. And I realize I passed one for the Memorial to Genius, but that's just a divination you can use for mana. I probably don't need to play the Cascade Seer. Electro Dominance, you say, huh? I could play Electro Dominance. I could also play a 1/4. I'd certainly play Electro Dominance. Come on in, buddy. Like, we're already at the point where we have to start making cuts. I guess we can take one more card, and then we can start looking at improving this. And there's still playable cards down here. Like, I don't think I'd be happy about main decking these, but you could. What does that do? Try to choose a card, draw 2 cards, and then spy. The Thrill of Possibility, I think, would obviously be good. If I'm going to play this Shoal Kraken, this is kind of just better. And did this have Constellation? I can't remember. I think I'm actually interested in this. It's really weird. I could also take the Traveler's Amulet just in case we find something, but I think if this is the deck, I'm down with it. Omen of the Sea seems good too, but this seems like it's kind of doing the same thing. I mean, this is a Saga that goes with the Kraken too, right? Thieving Otter would be quite nice here. Yeah, Cascade Seer can beat it, because I've now got 2 things we can do with this. I think I'm pretty interested in that. Because we've got ways to draw cards and we've got ways to clear blockers with the Glacial Grasps and the Callous Dismissals. I also don't have to play Thought Collapse. I was thinking about taking the Neutralize over the Thought Collapse, but I think this is probably better. We could take an Avon Wind Mage and consider playing that over the Counterspell. There's not really anything that wants me to be playing a bunch of spells, and I kind of want to be tapping out, so I think I'm sort of down with this. Like, it gives us a way to win if we don't draw the tutelage. I guess we can bring this in if we're having trouble with... We're not going to be having trouble with flyers. Like, we can't have trouble with flyers. Vel, thank you for the resub.
Semold, oh god, it's almost been 5 years, Semold.
Maybe it's just better than the Wolverine. I think it actually is. Because I've got plenty of 3s, and I'm not going to get enough spells going for it to work. Thank you very much for the resub, Vel. I want the 4-mana 4/3 with Reach. Nothing really for us here. I could side in Rise from the Grave, and I could bring the... I guess I'll take this in case I need to bring in more 2-drops. I'm never going to side in a Lava Axe. But I think we got a little plan here. Would have been nice. Oh, opt and thrill of possibility. I want both. I want both. So what's goes? I mean, maybe the turret ogre. Yeah, I shouldn't need this. Track, thank you for the resub. More cat spam is in order. Thank you for your support, Track. We did get invade the city. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's not really enough. It does mean that we got into the right color pair, which makes me happy. But I think I'd rather have access to a Bond of Passion from the sideboard. Courier's a decent blocker. There's no green. I don't have any green cards, so it's not like we'd want to bring any of those in. I also just don't think I need this, but I don't think I'd be playing the... like, we've got a few things that enable the Shoal Kraken, but I'm not playing it because of that. I'm playing it because I think a 3-5 stat line looks pretty good. There's another thrill of possibility. I kind of want to. I might play it over this Befuddle. Because, like, if we can find the tutelage, we probably just win with it. I don't see why we wouldn't do that. I only have one cycler, right? Yeah. So I don't think I can really do anything with this. Which is a shame. That was one of my favorite cards in Ikoria. I think that draft went rather well. All right, this is what we're going to play. So I'm going to pause for YouTube and then get this sorted. Round 1, fight. Good luck, Techno Shaman. I do think we'd like to play first. Yep, I'm a keep it. I'm a little nervous about it, but it has pretty much everything we could want going for it. I was never worried though, you know? I don't think a Burning Prophet is what I want right this second. Turn 3 tutelage is just too good, yeah, can confirm. That's a good start. We've milled 6 cards. Sunder, 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 Shaman is going to kill me. Well, I would not call that ideal. I'm glad we had a backup plan. If he can kill my Gadrak, our plan is kind of done. Do we chump to keep it going? Or just let it go? Like, do we think that's actually our win condition? Because what do I have that can actually deal with it? It's such a good answer to what we're doing. I think this is my win condition. I think I have to chump it. I'm probably not beating it, but I could chump block it for a while we try to mill him out. Yeah, but that kind of has to be the last bit that we mill, right? Because I'm locked into chumping this. If we can get a callous dismissal, it buys us an incredible amount of time. This is not good enough. I'm facing lethal like 5 different ways. Can I sack this and hit a callous dismissal and still live? 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. No, we're just dead. I'm going to look at a little more of his deck. But I can't beat the Sunder Shaman. And milling him is actively bad, because there's a underworld dude in here. Alright. That was close, but no banana. I think we're going to need Thought Collapse, because I have to be able to answer that. And I can't answer it on curve. I don't have the ability to answer it on curve. So I think we need the Thought Collapse. I don't think the Arcanist is particularly useful here. It's like, I can kill it, but I'm going to have to spend a lot more mana to kill it than he spent to cast it, which is probably my biggest concern for it. The Avon Eternal, the Avon Wind Mage also doesn't seem incredibly useful. But I think I still have to run it. This is actually scary. Okay, we can sort of think we're going somewhere with this. Okay, then I'm just going to sit on it. This is how we win, I guess. I'll take it. Okay, let's do that again. That could work. All skill. His hand must have been insane. All right, we can try again. Catarak's just here to block stuff. Which he seems like he's going to do just fine. I don't mind the second callous dismissal. The problem is I may not have anything to cast next turn. I really want to have up the counterspell this turn, but I can't. That's okay. We can just bounce whatever he does. Don't need to counter anything. That's amazing. This is kind of what I wanted to do with this deck. The only problem is we might actually kill him with damage before we mill him out. Which could be a problem. Round 2. Fight. Often I'll do another one, but I think today we're going to do some draft coaching. I have 2 people that have purchased or won those and are interested in it, so I think we will probably get that going. But I do one at least one every week. Kind of do need to hit a land. These are not lands. Sadly, they're good cards, but we need to hit that land. There we go. Now we're in business. I guess it's got to be Royal Eruption because I'm going to use it. Ideally, they don't kill my infiltrator. Okay, and that's what I have for card draw. So, everybody grab a leg indeed. Oh, Lord. So I am on trash, drawing trash. That is not great. We were supposed to draw more card draw now. But I guess I did scry 2 to the bottom and then discard an action card to try to get the lands. And I've still got attacks with this dude, which is fine. Like, if we're getting a premium removal spell used on this is fine. I don't know that that counts as a premium removal spell, but you got me. All right, let's be ready to draw action. Because we need it. Somewhat desperately. Is not action, is it? I need to play 1 land next turn. Because we could draw Boon of the Wishgiver and need to cast a 2 or a 3 drop. So I think I'm supposed to be holding like 1 land in hand, but probably not more than that. Alright, I'm hearing 2 songs, and this is too much. It's driving me crazy. I don't know if that's a bug or if it's just really loud there, but... Skullinate, thank you for the resub. Y'all spam some cats for Skullinate. We are getting beat upon. And I don't care for it. Alright, Royal Mage gets back Royal Eruption, Callous Dismissal. Royal Eruption doesn't really do enough this turn. Callous Dismissal at least gives me a few turns of not having to deal with that. And a Scry. And some belief that we might be stable adjacent, I suppose. I don't need that. I think we're probably out of this game, but I could sort of envision a series of events that get us back in. The Wind Mage is going to come out. There's too much anti-flyer action. think he should be attacking more aggressively here. I'm not really able to do much with this, but I guess if we can keep the board stalled for a little longer, we do that. That's too slow. I may be keen to bring in something like a mass, invade the city. 30 lands may have been too many, maybe. These are incredibly cautious attacks, but that's good news. Like, it's still giving me potentially a way out. There's a question of if we drew tutelage, do I even play it? But we didn't draw tutelage, so I don't think we have to worry about it. I think he's got so much anti-fly stuff that I don't really want any of my flyers. Like, it feels weird to cut these, but I just... There was not a point where I wanted to draw them. The Senate Courier looks better here. And I think there's a pretty compelling argument to bring in the invade the city. Where did it go? I was almost positive I had one of those in my sideboard. Did I not take it? I think I took the Bond of Passion over it, thinking I wouldn't want to side it in very often. Herd Ogre could do some work defensively too, then. Cutting flyers for a flyer? Eh? Well, the Cynic, I'm cutting aggressive flyers for defensive flyers. Because our deck didn't really do what it was supposed to do there. Which is kind of, I think in this matchup, we may be a one-trick to Fairy's Tutelage deck. But it was a little risky to double scry action and then loot away stuff. Like, I kind of set myself up to flood there. Alright, this looks a little better. That's fair. That's fair. I think we're pretty happy with this exchange. Because we need that treasure. A Death Toucher's annoying. Less so now. I could kill both of them. I want to do that. I think we're fine to play with 5 mana for the rest of the game, so any lands from here just get thrilling. We're in this one. Maybe not for long, but we're in it. That'll work. We gotta do it. Everybody, grab a leg. Kind of rather just hit more card draw at this point. Like that. They are currently at 15, and this is going to mill them for 10. Not hard to go wrong with that. Boop. I feel safe. Lot of ramp. And a few scary things. A lot of reach. A lot of white flyers. I don't hate Thought Collapse, but on the draw it's kind of scary. Sort of see playing it over the Dark Dweller. It's not like his deck was all 2 drops, and if they're ramping, that means there's spells I don't have to counter early that I really do want to counter late. Looks like Zurjin won his round. So Jacques, when you guys are ready, you can go ahead and start. That'll work. I think we're pretty happy to trade this for the Death Toucher if given the opportunity. And we'll counter a cheeseburger on turn 3 if given the opportunity. They've got Battlefield Promotion in hand. That's good to know. Because they were thinking about casting it there. Containment Priest? Or you can have a Containment Priest. You cannot have that. Yeah, they've got the Battlefield Promotion. They have to. But you can use it here, that's fine. I'm just preventing more damage because it would have killed us there. It would have killed the creature anyway there, and we take 5. Like, that's not going to work for me. I could get back the burn spell, or I can look to try to like double block this because I feel like we're in pretty good shape right now, except for I guess I could gang block it next turn and have the burn spell in hand. Why wouldn't you just do that? I can also kick it. If I'm willing to take 5 and just kill that thing next turn, that doesn't seem so bad either. Yeah, I think that's what this is for. I'm not opposed to winning with damage. I don't think he has a Wrath. Phew! Pardon me. I don't see a reason to sit on this either. Hey, what's up, Carl? A little bit slow going, but we'll get there. Need to hit some non-lands. Happy so far. We're in game 3 of the semifinals. I'm kind of flooding out a bit. I don't really need to dismiss anything here. We're at a board stall, and I've got to win the game card that I can eventually get to. We're never really planning on winning with damage anyway. Teferi's tutelage is the win condition. I just don't need to do any of this yet. We can be patient. It can't be my last card. This is a chaos draft that we're doing with viewers. We do that on Fridays. A reason not to have that in play. Seems good. Take some damage. Yeah, we're still fine. We gotta wait until we hit that tutelage and hope it's not... Well, actually, if it's our bottom card, I don't think I can win. As long as it's not the bottom, he's already deeper than me. So it should work. With a chaos draft, you don't have a specific set that you're drafting. You're drafting random sets. I can't cast Boon of the Wishgiver yet. This is one of those math situations with the Fairy's Tutelage where I can't cast it yet. It might be the bottom card, but if it's the bottom card and he can't kill me, I win anyway. He's a card deeper than me. This is how Magic was meant to be played. Okay, that's not going to kill me, and I can chomp it and then potentially bounce next turn. Unless he finds a way to give it trample, at which point it would become scary. But we're still pretty stalled here. We're going to have to grasp it in response to this. Which means that tutelage is not going to be our bottom card. Electro dominance is. And that puts him down to 4. Attack then leap does force a block, but I've got blocks. Yeah, that'll work. Yeah, we're pretty close to lethal right now, though. They're united. Tutelage wins again. Huzzah! Sorry, YouTube, you were hearing a Stream Raiders battle going. But I think I got to send this one back. It's close to reasonable, but I don't think I can keep it. This is a little more reasonable. We can do something with this. Sorry y'all missing the Stream Raiders battle. It's still going. I think buying us a little bit of time first is pretty good. Alright, we got our Stream Raiders battle done. I will quickly move through this, because I want you guys to be able to select next. Yeah, sure, I like more damage. Your sales mind. I will look at that in just a moment, and we will determine this. Position around my tank for the win. Everybody grab a leg. I do not need this otter. I need to stay alive. How do I invite myself to my girlfriend's sister's house to ask them a question while my girlfriend is not in town? That's weird. What are you asking them? Because if it's not like, what should I get her for Christmas or something, that's weird. And I require more information. Actually, this provides just as much damage. You're asking him the big question? Well, in that case, it should be kind of easy. And also, that's no longer weird. It was weird, but now it isn't. Have to be at 24 for that? No, I have to be at 27. Do you have their phone numbers? Do you have the phone number of the person that you're wanting to go see? All right, how far away are they? Is it reasonable that you could 15 minutes? Okay, so when your girlfriend's out of town, you text them and say, I'd like to come over and ask you a very important question. Would it be okay if I meet you in half an hour? And they're going to say yes. That's easy peasy, man. They can't say no. We're in a bit of flying danger here. I don't think I can mill him out fast enough. Yeah, it doesn't even need to be a surprise. You can text them what you want to ask them. Honesty is a great sales tactic. Just tell them the truth. Oh, good grief! Chalk may be able to beat me. I don't care for that. Yeah, we're dead. Alright. Ilsarith 2? My goodness, this is the best anti-mill deck I've ever seen. Good old black-white life gain. Okay, so again, the flyers are not really doing much for us. The Wind Mage and the Eternal are just kind of worthless. I think I'd be very interested in the Turret Ogre. And I could sort of see wanting Bond of Passion here, but I think I might just rather have the counterspell for this. Like, I can't side out of being a mill deck against him. Yeah, if they like you, this is super easy. It's only difficult if they don't like you. Yeah, he's got a really good aggressive deck with pretty good late game. Which is bloody terrifying. Heck yeah, we're taking that. I want to get in some damage just in case he top decks the Apparition and can take out the tutelage. Because it's possible I have to win with damage. Like that means I have to win with damage. I guess there's no guarantee that he top decked it, but oddly enough, trying to win with damage against this deck is probably a good thing for us. Battlefield Promotion isn't, but I can handle that next turn. Second Battlefield Promotion we bumped into. I don't remember that being that good. Okay, I don't know what you got, but I'm scared of it now. My power grows. I think I'd rather just hit a land first. They don't really need the turret ogre right now. We've got a pretty good board. Yeah, it's still worth going in with these two. Elsarith must be dealt with, and I don't have a lot of ways to deal with her. But that's a start. Yeah, we can do that over next turn. That's not bad to have either. Because I have to win via damage now. I can't win with the tutelage. It's not here. But we can get back the End of the Royal next turn, or Royal Eruption next turn. And kill her. Yeah, that's alright. I like more cards. They're at 10, I'm at 16. It's gonna take a while. This can go face, can it? How much do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
The only companion I need is my blade.
This prevents non-combat damage dealt to other permanents, but not to face. So it's just a question of can they gain enough life, and I don't think right now they can. We're at 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10. They're gaining so much life. I guess I could Electrodominance the Wanderer, but that doesn't seem useful. That is so good against me. Callous Dismissal is not bad. It can't be go face. Electrodominance deals X damage to any target. What are you talking about? Oh, okay. Well, we're going to bounce the Wanderer and take care of some problems here. So the only thing I could Electrodominance is the Wanderer. This doesn't do anything against my deck. So I think we just bounce it. Electrodominance, the most annoying card. Hold up Thought Collapse and see what we draw. Okay. That's annoying, but I guess we're killing the flyer. Really want a Dark Dweller. Did I screw that up? I must have screwed up the prophecy. Yeah, I did. I needed to cast it last turn, I guess. I'm not really sure what happened there. I had a plan, but apparently I screwed it up. What's up, Boom? I don't think I care about that. I don't think that's actually beating me. It's not killing any more of my cards. I must have missed it by a turn. Because that's all the burn I have. We've used all of it. We still got to figure out how to win, and like that is a challenge, but that seems annoying. Let's not deal with that. Don't want Thrill right now. They can Wanderer her. Okay, maybe I've made some mistakes here. I've run out of drink, and it is beginning to be a challenge because I'm thirsty. Yeah, I'm not entirely convinced that I can win now. That life game was just too much. And the turret ogre is the other thing that can get sniped by the Wanderer. So I don't actually know how we can win. Because I know what we're drawing. The only card we have left is the Dark Dweller. So even if I had done everything properly, we would have drawn more cards that don't do anything. That was really rough to get the tutelage yoinked immediately. I was able to put my neighbor into white, though. So that's a good thing. But I lost the card I passed him to hook him. So that's a bad thing. YouTubers, thank you for watching the Chaos Draft. I know some of you guys are into this. Not everybody loves it, but I very much appreciate you guys staying tuned through the whole thing. Don't forget to come by the stream. It's at twitch.tv/Semulin, and very good games, Jacques. Very good games. Congratulations, my friend. YouTubers, we'll see you next time. Mishi, thank you for the resub.